Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining in the Bhagavad Gita class. And thank you for your interest in the Bhagavad Gita. Today we have a very, very special guest, His Grace Radha Pramod Prabhu. Radha Pramod Prabhu has been in Krishna consciousness from, from a very long time. And he was working in a software company for some time. And then he joined in the ISKCON temple. He's currently doing youth preaching. He has completed many Shastric degrees also. And presently he's doing corporate preaching. He's taking classes on Asta TV channel also every day. And he's taking classes on Hare Krishna TV channel also. If you just type in Hare Krishna TV Radha Pramod Das, you will have his classes on. So Prabhuji is a very dynamic preacher. He gives classes in English also. He gives classes in Telugu also. He gives classes in Hindi also. So he's counseling and guiding many, many families and many youth devotees and cultivating them into Krishna consciousness. So today we are very, very fortunate to have him. Prabhuji is very shastrically sound, and even I am one of his students in the Bhagavatam class in the morning that he takes daily. So Prabhuji, very much thank you so much for accepting our invitation for giving the class, and thank you so much. We are really indebted to you. Thank you, Prabhu. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Very happy to be with all of you. What I will do, I will give some fundamental understandings of Bhagavad Gita, which we have to carry on with us when we are going through this study of Bhagavad Gita, which is very, very helpful and which is what Krishna wants us to understand. So few things, what I will do, we will just go through these 3 shlokas, the previous 2 shlokas, and I'll just briefly tell about these shlokas. Then I am going to tell you some very fundamental things. This today is 15th shloka, but I wanted to just take 13, 14 also once again, just a few points from that, and then we will go to the next ones, the 15th one. Okay. So there is certain logic which Krishna is trying to help us understand, and I want we all have to understand this logic. So what I will do, I will share my screen with the notes. I will type in that so that you will be able to understand what exactly I want to say, because we have to basically very logically understand Bhagavad Gita. It's not some sentimental some book or some religious book which we have to just go through, and because we are going through some very religious book, I'll get some good benefit out of it. No. Krishna is telling. So this very, you are able to see my screen. I am typing. You are able to see now?
Yes, Prabhuji, we are able to see.
So this is universal science. Universal science means first is it should be logical. So this is the first thing that Krishna is telling, that you ask questions. Don't just blindly accept whatever is told. Means we have to be very conscious and analyze what is happening here. Understand that this is very, very important for me. I just cannot blindly, for children in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th classes, we teach them to memorize Bhagavad Gita shlokas. That is only for children. But it is for us, it is not memorization. It is more of a logical understanding. So questioning is very important. If it is a science means it should have logic. It should have proper. If you go through at least the translations of Bhagavad Gita once, you will understand there is some logic that is explained here. And Krishna wants us to understand some things. Like say Krishna personally comes and meets, and we have a conversation with Krishna, then what Krishna will tell, Krishna will again tell all this Bhagavad Gita, same thing. Why? Because this is the most fundamental things which we need to understand about this whole creation, about the Lord. So there are 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita. If you see, these are what we need to understand about Bhagavad Gita. So you all remember this 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita. So first topic is Jiva. So this is another thing, but I will just go to it. Jiva is living entity. Ishvara is the Lord, and Prakriti is the material nature, and Kala, and there is Karma. So these are the 5 things which we should be very clear about in our life, which will help us to make some spiritual progress. So we have to know clear understanding of all these things. If somebody asks about Jiva at the end of Bhagavad Gita, we should be very clear about it. What is a living entity? And what is Ishvara means the Supreme Lord. What is the Supreme Lord? We should be very clear about it. And then what is this material nature? And then what is the time factor and what is karma? We should be very clear about it. Not only this, we should be able to understand the relation between living entity and the Lord, and Lord and the Prakriti and Jiva, and relation between all these 3 things. And what is that the element that makes? If all 3 comes and then some time passes, then there is karma. So we will. So this is why I'm telling is, these are the things that we need to be very clear about at the end of Bhagavad Gita. Many people, they speak about Bhagavad Gita, or they say Bhagavad Gita is so important, this, that. But very few people are interested to really understand what exactly it is there. Why very few? Because it's hard work. It's a labor. And people are generally very, especially in this age, they're very lazy. They're not interested. They say, why so much intelligence? If I just switch off my intelligence, sit in front of my TV or in front of my laptop or mobile, I can enjoy, na? Why I should use my intelligence to know what is true, this, that? No, it does not make much for me. So this type of mentality is there for people. I'm sorry. So this is actually what we have to overcome to understand really. The second thing is, it is universal. So now Bhagavad Gita's the rules are not only for a particular, they are only for this particular time, this particular space, or no, it is for everyone all the time. And what Krishna told few 100 years back, it is applicable now also. So that means it is not that, okay, maybe that time it is applicable that you are not the body, spirit, soul. Souls used to live previously, now no more like that. No, it is not. It is always applicable for all the time. This we have to be very clear about. So this is one important thing that we need to understand, that the principles that are given in Bhagavad Gita are universal, and it is and so this is the second principle. It is logical, it is universal, and the why, of course, it is overall, it is called question answers is very important, and it is science because it is what do you call, very systematically organized. So now I will give some more important things which we need to know about overall about Bhagavad Gita. So I want you to understand some of the things which are very helpful. This is actually this is all the time which will help us. It's not just one time. And I want you to remember some of the things which we will be discussing for today. So first is what Krishna want to, first thing is Krishna want to help us. Help us in what? Help us in understand, help us to become happy. So this is the first principle to remember. So what is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is to make us happy. So this is the first thing we should remember. And this is the way Krishna understands. So no, so third principle here, it is very practical. So first is it's rational. Rational means logical. Second is it is experimentally verified. So here we have to write three things, right? So logical, universal, and experimentally verified. You can anytime in between ask questions in case if you feel. And here another thing is, it is actually complete truth. See, sectarian means it is a sect. That means for some part, it is for some part for some people, but it is not sectarian. It is universal. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can you explain us how it is proved to be verified experimentally? Because many neophytes ask us this question and I have no clue how to answer them.
Oh, verification. 1 minute. Here, when I tell, I'll just. So experimentally verified means, say now we will, yes, now anyway we'll come to our shloka. Then I will tell you what is the logic and how experimentally verified. Actually, many shlokas can be verified, but this one shloka I'll teach you how it is experimentally verified. What logic, how logically and experimentally verified. So now Krishna is telling, you all read this shloka. This is the 13th shloka. What Krishna is telling, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara prapti dhiras tatra mukhyati. See, very nice logic Krishna is trying to make us understand. What is the logic? What Krishna is telling here is, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam. Kaumaram means you are young, yavvanam, we are small, young, and then old age. Now Krishna is telling you are able to see the change. So this shloka is telling, I will show you the translation. What Krishna is telling, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body, what the soul is passing from boyhood to youth and old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. What logic Krishna is telling, you see, that now when you are small, when you are 3-4 years old, you had a different body. When you are at school time, you have a different body. When you are in college, you have a different body. Now you are able to see a change in your body. That means you are observing something. Your observer means the change is separate from you. That's why you are able to observe the change. If you are able to observe the change, that means you are different and the change is different. Because you are same only. When you are 3 years old, you are same. You are the same person. 10 years old, you are same person. 16 years old, you are same person. Now at 25 also, you are same person. Now what is that? It is standard and body is changing. Na? So what is that standard? Krishna is telling the observer, na, you are observing. That's why you are different. So this is the logic Krishna is giving. Like, say if you are traveling in a flight goes at 850 kilometers per hour. Now when I am in the flight, I will not know that I am going at that speed because I am part of the change. But somebody below who is observing the flight, he knows that this flight is going at this speed. Why? Because I am part of the change, I am not knowing the change. But I am observer, then I can see the change. Similarly, we are able to see the change in body because we are an observer. We are different from our body. This is the logical understanding. And now experimentally verified means what? There are so many principles which Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita. And this is one of the things. He's telling, yeah, you can verify that you are an observer. And if you are a change, then you cannot be knowing the change. Because you're an observer, that's why you're able to see the change. This is one thing. And verifying is what Krishna is telling is, when he is going to say in the 3rd chapter, 5th chapter, and 7th, 8th chapter, when he's going to give some principles. What principles he gives is how to change our heart. And if you practice some of the principles which Krishna is giving, definitely it will work. The yoga means, why Bhagavad Gita is called yoga? Yeah, this is also why it is practically verifiable. Because it is yoga. I will go to the slides and notes, because it will help you to remember. Without notes, it will be difficult. So verifiable because it is yoga. Yoga is not just it is not just connection. Yoga also means it is practical. So that is also another meaning of yoga. So the third aspect is, it is not sectarian, it is yoga. So, and what does it mean that I am not the body, spirit, soul? So it is important, because the soul itself, it's actually very abstract. No, I'm just 10,000 tip of this hair. It's very difficult for us to understand only how I am so small and all. But when we get this realization, that's actually very helpful also. Anyway, that is very troublesome now. It is not possible for us, even if we are understanding. But this is there. So I will just give one more point for you to understand this, how it is practical. Yoga comes from the meaning that not only just connection. So yoga means that it's a method. Yoga means a method. So Bhagavad Gita is actually describing certain processes or methods. So Bhagavad Gita presents a methodology for verifying all these points. Whatever is given, you can verify them. That's why it is called yoga. Otherwise, we will not call it yoga. So yoga means you can verify. So the processes that are given, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all these are verifiable processes. That's why it is called. So yoga is union. That is one meaning of it. There is another meaning. Yoga means also practice, like that. So now we have one more next shloka which you all read. So first I explained how it is. Now we'll come to this first thing. What Krishna is telling is 2.13 is, we are not the body. And what is the logic Krishna is giving? Because we are the observers. Because you are observing, you are actually because you are different from what you are observing. If you are observing, that means you are not that. That is the logic. Clear? Now 2.14, what Krishna is telling, we are not the mind. So this will be very interesting to understand. This is very important for us to understand. Now why Krishna is telling all these things, you should always remember. Now there are three fundamental questions. These are the three fundamental questions everybody need to know the answer. So what is the first question? So this is the first question. Second question is, actually this is asked in different ways. why everything is like this? Why we had to work hard? Why I had to do this? Why I had to wake up early morning? Why I had to do all these things? And the third question is, sorry, what to do? So these are the fundamental questions we need to answer. Now what happens is, everybody asks only two questions. What are the two questions generally people ask? Is first question they ask is what to do, and then second question ask is whom to blame. So these are the two questions generally people ask. But what we should ask is, who am I? If I know who am I, then it becomes very easy how to act. So without knowing who am I, how to act becomes difficult. And all these things for what? For only one thing. What is the purpose of life? Purpose of life? Anybody want to guess? This is the purpose of life. And Krishna want to help us. This is actually, sorry. Krishna want to help us to achieve this. To become happy, you need to know who am I. Without knowing who am I, to become happy is very difficult. That is the point here. So, to become happy, we need to know who am I. And then we will get the answer why everything in this world is like this and what to do. Now, only people ask these two questions, what to do and whom to blame. That's why they remain like that only. So now Krishna is telling, now why problem came to Arjuna? Because he had this problem. He had the problem with his understanding only. Who am I? That's why Arjuna is going through all these problems. For us also in life, we are going through problems because we are not able to understand who am I only first. That's why Krishna is telling, wait a minute, I'll tell you. First you are not the body, then he is telling you are not the mind. Now what he is telling in this shloka, there is one more logic Krishna is trying to help us. So, yeah, purpose of life is to serve. So that is ultimately actually to become happy only. So we want to serve the Lord because that will make us ultimately happy. So purpose is to become happy only. In the spiritual world, everybody is blissful. Satchit Ananda. Our natural position is to be Satchit Ananda. And that Satchit Ananda position can be achieved when we know who am I. If I am servant of Krishna, then what I will do? Say, if I am hired by a company, and then whom will I work for? I will work for the company because I am hired by them. So if I know I am servant of Krishna, then what I will do? I will serve Krishna. That's all. I will be happy. I will be staying in. This is called dharma. Anyway, I will not complicate you with many terms. I want to make it very simple for us. I want to be happy. I know who I am. So at least I am not the body. And just by knowing these two things, we will become so much happy. Need not. Serving Krishna is very far for us. First, we should know that I am not the body and spirit soul. I am not the mind also. I'll tell. Now, in this shloka, if you all have Bhagavad Gita in front of you, I'll not jump here there. So you just see the 2 point. Anyway, I'll only share. Somebody may not have. So I'll just share 2.14. We'll see. Then we'll go for 15. So what Krishna is telling here, in this shloka, after telling you are not the body, he is telling how we are not the mind also. This is a very nice shloka. Krishna is telling, Matra sparshastu kaunteya, sitoshna sukha dukkada, agama payino anitya, stamastitiksha sabharta. Just I will take 10-15 minutes on this, then we will go for our today's shloka 15. But this is very important. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Now Krishna is telling, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. They arise from sense perception. O Siyachin of Bharata, one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. It looks very simple, but here there is very important. Please remember this word, Matra Sparshastu. So I will try to explain this word for all of you. Why Krishna is using this word? So this word has a very important meaning. So now Krishna is using matra sparshastu. So matra is actually, so Krishna is telling matra means senses. When senses come in contact with sense objects, then there is heat, cold, happiness, distress. Just tolerate, be a, no, don't get disturbed by it. Now, Krishna is using for the senses the word matra. Now, how does this word matra come from? Matra comes from the, matra means what? Matra means measure. In Sanskrit, the word measure, even the meter word comes in English, no? That comes from the word matra. So the senses are called a measuring instruments. So this is, and senses are called measuring instrument. What they are measuring? Please try to understand. Krishna is telling our senses are measuring instrument. What they measure? Now my eyes are there. I am looking at my chair. I am looking at my table. I am looking at my laptop. I am looking at my other things. Now what my eyes do? They measure. What is the measurement? Good, right, bad. I like. So this is the measurement the senses do. This is what Krishna is telling. So the measurement that is done by senses is I like. It is good, bad. So if I give anything, some nice, beautiful painting, I say, wow. So my eyes, what they are measuring? They are basically measuring whether it is good for me or not, whether I like it or not. Say if I am given mango juice now, so then my tongue, eyes will look at it and tongue will say, yes, this is what I want. That means what? My tongue is always measuring. You give something to tongue, it is measuring, good, bad. Nose, what it does? Same thing. Nice, fragrance. Oh, very bad. So senses are always measuring instruments. Now, if you take some animals like a dog for dog, now whole face is nose only. If you observe, the dog whole face is nose only, big nose and very powerful nose, and it can enjoy the smell very nicely than all of us. We cannot enjoy the smell like dog. It has very, very sharp nose. Somebody's tongue is very sharp. They enjoy the conversion of taste. That means what we are doing now. There is important question for all of you. Now I am telling, wow, nice smell. Now it is good, nice smell or not? How, what you will say, whether it is good smell or not? Nice fragrance. It's rose fragrance. It is good or bad? Anybody? What do you think? Good, yeah, but it is good. And actually it is depends. It's good for all of us, but not for any. When Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur went to Burma and he made something in ghee, the neighbors, they complained. It says such a dirty smell. They could not tolerate. And Bhaktisiddhanta wanted to know what is their fragrant smell. So anything that dies around lizard, dog, this, that, they put in front of them. There is a well, and they put everything in that. Then that rotten thing, then they serve to everyone. They feel it's a very delicacy. Now, if somebody, now this smell, yeah, it depends. Not, it depends on our senses. See, like now we have nearby, there is a dump yard. So now if somebody who is working, yes, this is very important point. It is relative. See, for me, some smells are allergic. I hate them. But some people, they like it. If some non-veg smell is coming or onion smell, I cannot tolerate. But somebody who is enjoying it, they say, "Arey, maja aa gaya." That means what? Somebody alcohol smell. Somebody in a train or something, some we travel, And one childhood I went to tuition for 2 days. I went. That person, he smokes big desi cigarette. I know, but I just went in the house, and after 1 hour I came. For 2 days I was getting headache. I said I will never go to the tuition. So the point is what? The smells are relative. Taste is what? Now somebody likes sweet, somebody like hot. Taste is relative. Now what Krishna is telling, Array, your senses are only instrument. Now it is good or bad, it is all relative. So if it is relative, why are you taking it so seriously? Now this class, for some people it is good, but some people they are, hey, what they are talking Bhagavad Gita, it's boring. Boring or not, it's all relative. So something very relative, why do you take it seriously? That's what he's going to tell after 2 shlokas. Something temporary does not exist. What Krishna is going to say, something temporary that means don't take these things seriously. Matra, sparsha, sita, ushna, sukha, dukkhada. Don't take all these things. It's just a state of mind. It's your mind that is going to work on all these things. If you take them seriously, you will be in trouble. Yeah, it's all depends. So now, if it is all depending on our state, then now I will give an example. You all understand this. Say, now boy is in love with a girl. Now initially it is good, but after that it is not so good. Why it is not so good? It became relative. Same, now I have my mobile, new mobile. After 6 months, oh, same mobile. I want another mobile. Now mobile is good or bad? It is relative. So, yes. So what happens is when we are with the object, it all become relative. So why should I take it so seriously? Krishna is saying there is something higher than this. It's all mental. It's all our mental state. So what happens is, now if a mental state is in a particular state, I start liking it. I will like certain food items. I like certain, like, say now, how many of you will like Leo toys, small toys? You will not like. But when we are small, we all liked it. Yeah, it is. Why can't we like or dislike the same thing throughout our life? Yeah, when you are small, now your mind changed. Now when you are small, you have a different mind. And then when you grow, when you are in school, that time you had different likings. Your likes of the serials and you like cartoons. Now you will not sit in front of cartoons. Now after that they like sports. Boys, I can tell you about boys. Girls, I don't know. We like cricket, and then we have our friends and all. Now after we grow, then there is job, then there is college, then there is money, and then in wife, children and all. So now what happened is very important. Please try to understand. Along with our body, mind is also changing. They are not the same mind. What I have mind in 20 years back, what I will have after 20 years will be different. So mind also changes, body also changes. Now that is the reason then there's a fighting between wife and husband. He says, "Arey, you were different before marriage and now you are different." Yes, he's different. Body also changed, mind also changed. When you saw the person, you met the person, he is a different mind. Now after growing for some years, because of the association we have, our mind also changes. That's why Krishna is telling, don't take it very seriously. Your mind always change. Now we are keeping in devotee environment. We are hearing Bhagavad Gita. Now our mind is much better. If you keep your mind in front of Netflix or whatever, Amazon Prime, it will be different. So, yeah, but feeling for a particular person is special. Yeah, we are actually not able to, we never saw the person only. What happens is, like, no, especially with the parents, when the children are very small, they like they have certain about the feeling about the children, but the children grow. What happens is the parents, they think my child is small only, but the child has grown, his body grown, his mind is growing, and he will going to behave differently only. अरे मेरा मुन्ना तो बहुत अच्छा था लेकिन अभी उसको मूंछ और दाढ़ी आ गया. is no more your Munna. So, yeah, when we reach about dislike, then yes, that's what Krishna is trying to tell. Arjuna is telling, oh, no, I don't want to kill. They're my people. Arey, Baba, you don't go with I like, I don't like. So this I like, I don't like is called sinful mentality, which is actually keeping us in this material world. So if somebody asks what is sin, sin means I like. It's not I like, I don't like. What is do that? Then we'll be free from sin. If we want to be free from sin, what is correct? That is what is dharma. That we have to do. It's not I like, I don't like. What should be done? What is right? What is correct? What is dharma we should do? For us, what Krishna likes. So we do what Krishna likes. So this is how we should proceed. So most of the people, they get stuck up with I like, I don't like. So they live a sinful life. And that's why they are caught up in this material world. They cannot come out of it. I like, I like, I like, I like. Why are you doing? I like it. Why are you watching? Why are you eating? Why are you doing this? I like, I like, I like. Arey Baba, you do, even if you like, you don't like, you have to do. Then you'll be able to get out of this mental state. Bodily state, to get out of it, and this one part, we have to get out of the mental state also. We just have to give up. Now, most of the thing, if you just see what we have done whole day, we do most of the thing is sometimes forcefully and sometimes because I like it. That's why we are caught up in this material world. Some person who says, no matter whether I like or I don't like, I will do it because this is right. Waking up early morning, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is right, that's why I'll do it. Even though I may not like it. I will read Bhagavatam. I will attend every week Bhagavad Gita class. I may like, I may not like. Why are you not attending? No mood, I am not liking. That is what? This is called mental state. So if you are in a mental level, then we are always in trouble. We are always doing sinful activity. We have to come out of this mental level. We have to grow. So this is the level of buddhi. That's why Krishna is telling, Durena avaram karma, buddhi yoga dhananjaya, buddho sharanamanucha karpana palahetava. Anyway, that you will understand that Krishna is going to tell in this chapter only, eventually. But this is what Krishna is telling. That Baba, wait a minute, you are not the body, you are not the mind also. Mind changes. That is why we have to, when we are relating to people also, when you say, na, Are, you are a different person, bahut badal gaya tum, you change so much. Yeah, everybody changes because mind changes. He's not the same person when they got married 10 years back. Both of them changed because mind changes. Anyway, I'll not go more into detail because it's a different topic only. But I just want you to understand what logic Krishna is giving. Krishna is very logically trying to explain, you are not the body, you are spirit soul. Yeah, this is actually disobedience of Lord's. Yeah, we are all caught up here. That's the reason only. Because mind changes, that's why priorities changes. Yes, mind changes, priority changes, our taste changes, our what do you call, mentality changes, our friends changes, our activity, everything changes. Now we are having different things in our life because mind changed. That's all. That's very simple to understand. And same thing here, our so Krishna is saying, don't take this thesis. If you say, oh, Prabhuji, today environment, today it was raining and was so nice. It is all relative. Why are you taking it so seriously? It's raining, sometimes it is hot. So only certain thing is death. Yeah, as sure as death. Okay. And yeah, how to waver? At least we should understand that it is not right initially. And that's what Krishna is going to help us understand. That is there in the 3rd chapter, 6th chapter. All our questions are answered. How to waver? For now, if you don't want to get wavering, the solution is please chant every day in the morning. You chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the beats. That will help us. But more details and more understanding is also very important, so that we'll not get uh, carried away by it. So other things are also important. It's not that we need to know the philosophy very nicely, then it will help you. But ultimately it is chanting which will help. But to chant nicely, we need to know all these things in detail. What Krishna is giving, what logic Krishna is giving. Right? How to control emotions? To control emotions, we need to understand philosophy nicely. See, now what happens is, now when this person is behaving in a particular way, and 10 years back he loved me so much, now he is no more loving, then we understand, yeah, this person changed. Now what I loved a person 10 years back is a different person, this person is different. If I know I am dealing with a different person, you deal with differently now. Why are your expectations? Our emotions are because of our expectations. We are expecting so much. We are expecting they will do like this, she will do like this will happen like this, that will happen like this. We are always in expectation. No expectations, no problems. Very happy. All problems are because I am expecting. And another reason emotions is because we are not able to accept reality. So I'll write for you. If we are accepting reality, then we can control emotions. So 2 ways: don't expect anything, accept it. Like this lesson I learned very long in our childhood when I was playing, when I was watching cricket match between India and some other team, and last 10 overs were there, and it was quite sure that India is going to lose. They were playing very terribly, and I went to the house of my senior. He's in the class school. He's senior. So I told Anna, chalo, we'll go and play cricket. He said, Arey, cricket is coming now. He said, no, India is going to lose. Anyway, I don't want to see it. They are losing. He said, no, you should accept reality. But that was like, from that day onwards, I decided, yes, whatever happens, I'll accept it. So then there is no question of becoming emotional. And then don't expect anything. Whatever comes, first is whatever is coming, I'm accepting. And from others, I'm not expecting. Then it becomes very easy. Of course, it is theoretically very easy, but still it is easy also. So there is one more question. If everything is changing, then how Bhagavad Gita still has the answers to almost all problems? Because this is the problems are same for everyone. Like no universal, like everybody has fever, cold, cough. So because we are dealing with material nature, all of them will go through the same situation. Maybe the details change, but the problem is same. Relationship problem everybody will have, health problem people will have, and career problem people will have, and then neighbors problem and like that. So yeah, we have no problem. We have modern problems or old problems. Solution is spiritual solution will only work. Krishna is giving, because this is a universal. When we are interacting with material nature, the problems we are going to get the same type of problem. Everyone, these types of problem. Actually, if you see Arjuna, he was in complete stress. So much stress that his hairs are standing on end. He's getting tears in his eyes. His hands are quivering. His throat is choking up. And if any doctor diagnoses Arjuna, he will give Arjuna 1 week sick leave for sure. Arjuna will easily get 1 week sick leave if any doctor diagnoses Arjuna at this situation. But Krishna gave him some solutions. So this is what we need to understand. Arjuna was really in stressful state, and then he could come out of it. Now he just very few shlokas before only. Within 5 minutes, he's going to come out of it, and he's going to ask a very interesting question: what is Sthita Prajna? But before that, this is a universal problem. Stress was there before also. So, but yeah, Krishna is giving universal solution. So one question is how to fix goals for our career, how to get directions and path and decide what we want to do in our career. Yeah, for career, you have to first know what you want. Then based on that, you decide what career. Means what I want first, if I know I want to be happy, if you have this as the goal, then other things are easy to set. To know what I want, we should know what we are first. That's what Krishna is telling here. So Bhagavad Gita helps in that way to know whom I am. Based on that, I can decide what I want in life. Otherwise, without knowing, see what is happening, the problem is, I'll just read the 15th sloka, then I will give answers for other questions. Because we didn't even take our shloka only today. And we are already out of time. So, we will take today's shloka. Ye yanhina veti ante te purusham purusharshabha samadukka sukham dhiram so amritattaya kalpate. O best among men, Arjuna, that person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. You see what Krishna is telling? Don't identify with your mind. If you are not affected by your mind, I am going to explain this on mind a little bit more. We have few more minutes. We'll read the purport and then I'll explain. Anyone who is steady in his determination for the advanced stage of spiritual realization and can equally tolerate the onslaughts of distress and happiness is certainly a person eligible for liberation. In the Varnashram Institute, the fourth stage of life, namely the renounced order, sannyas, is a painstaking situation. But one who is serious about making his life perfect surely adopt the sannyas order of life in spite of all difficulties. The difficulties usually arise from having to sever family relationship, to give up connections of wife and children. But if anyone is able to tolerate such difficulties, surely his path to spiritual realization is complete. Similarly, in Arjuna's discharge of duty as a Kshatriya, he is advised to preserve even if it is difficult to fight with his family members or similarly beloved persons. Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at the age of 24 and his dependent young wife as well as old mother had no one else to look after them. Yet, for a higher cause, he took sannyas and was steady in the discharge of higher duties. That is the way of achieving liberation from material bondage. So, very important point. Please pay little attention. This is very helpful for all of us. You see, if I am not mind, why then how life becomes so easy? So what happens with the mind? This is a little more. I want your attention. So what happens is this mind, it actually all what are there in the mind. Of course, many things are there, but one important thing that are there in the mind is desires. So these desires, how they appear in the mind? Mind has desires. How they appear in the mind? They appear by association. So by association, we develop desires. By association, we have certain likes and dislikes. Say now, if I am seeing an advertisement of, say I'm going on a highway and seeing Pepsi for 3 kilometers and I got a hotel to stop. As soon as I go, because I saw it so many times, as soon as I go, what I get? I get a desire to drink Pepsi. Because same thing with advertisement, even though it is few seconds, they pay crores of rupees. Because what happens when people look at it, they develop a desire for it. So now, where did this desire come from? This desire came by association. So if I am seeing a very movies, then big costly cars, costly watches, nice dress and nice mobiles and nice parties, nice food. I am seeing more and more in the commercials and movies and serials and all. Then what will happen? No, we go sometime to purchase a jewelry for the Lord. Then I ask, what is the jewelry? Then he will tell some name. I say, what is this name? He says, this serial, this lady or this jewelry. That's why the name is that. Cereals name are jewelry. That is what people, when they see, they get inspired, they get desires. Now, very important, please understand this one point. That means these desires are not ours. They came from outside. Now, what happens is, what is the definition of happiness for people? So, definition of happiness, people, is if my desires are fulfilled, I'll be happy.
We cannot see that screen that you're writing on. Prabhu, the shloka screen is on.
Oh, really? Okay. Sorry. So now you are able to see now. So the mind is having desires, and desires is by association. So now definition of happiness is if my desires are fulfilled, I am happy. But the point is what? The desires came from outside. That means we are different from our desires. I am not the desires. I am different from my desires. Who am I? I am soul. And desires are where? In the mind. And from where they are coming? Mind is changing all the time. More you associate in front of TV, more types of desire, more different types of desires come. And my life is just in fulfilling the desires. Some stupid desire will come. Like now suddenly you see a washing machine and you feel, oh, I'll be happy if I have this washing machine. That's what that beautiful lady in the TV says. And then you may though have that, then you spend 50,000-60,000 to get that washing machine. And then what happens? Same thing. Then suddenly you get a desire. Oh, I want this this apartment in this society. That will make me happy. And then you purchase that, and next 20 years pay EMI. Just to suddenly at the age of 40, a person will get the desire to have that apartment. And next 20 years, till age of 60, is just paying EMI for it. That means his whole life is going on fulfilling the desires, which are coming from outside. We are not the mind only. Some desire comes, whole life goes in fulfilling. Another desire comes, whole life goes in fulfilling that. And whole life goes in fulfilling one desire after another thing. And then he's left with none. That's why Krishna is telling in this shloka, tolerate. Don't just go with the desires of your mind. That will come and go. Agama paino anitya. Anitya means it is not permanent. Even if your desire is not fulfilled, very important news. This is a golden line. Please remember, write down. Even if our desire is not fulfilled, nothing will happen to us. Many people, they commit suicide. I did not get this girl to marry. Commit suicide. Ladka nahi mila. Exam fail ho gaya. Ye ho gaya. Wo ho gaya. Commit suicide. Because their desire is not fulfilled, they become so unhappy. But nothing will happen to us. Our desire is not fulfilled, nothing. Happily eat, sleep. And then go on with your life. You have so many other things to do. Read Bhagavad Gita, chant the holy name, be peaceful, like that. So this is what Krishna is telling. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I actually have one question here. Like you mentioned that by association, the desires, by association, we get those desires. So how can we disassociate with those kind of things? How can we develop our consciousness so that the other material things, whatever is going on, doesn't affect us, and we do not become emotionally dependent on them? How can we, become emotionally independent of such material things?
Yeah, we have two things. First is, as much as possible, we should not associate. That means if you don't go for the entertainment industry, and we are free from social media so much, Instagram, Netflix, sorry, and then WhatsApp is, and so many other social medias are there. These are actually our problematic things. Previous ages, they were not there. They were previously there were Vedas. Now it is replaced with fifth Veda, the Google Veda. People go to it. So these different apps in our mobiles, different social media platforms, and different. These are the main cause. First thing, and second thing is like we have to also philosophically grow ourselves. We have to read Bhagavad Gita, try to understand. Then our buddhi will be awakened. Otherwise, we remain in an emotional platform only. That's why we need to chant and we need to read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, which will help us to get that strength and will not get emotionally affected by all the situations that are happening and the desires that come. And if they don't get fulfilled, the unhappiness that comes, this will all go away if we are doing very strong practices. That is called sadhana. That's why we have to wake up early morning, train our mind by doing regular meditation on the holy name. This is actually a meditation. We have to meditate on the holy name. And then we have to meditate, we have to hear the scriptures which will increase. So, yeah, when we just see the story or status, we get many desires. Yeah, if you see the advertisement of a movie, then there will be a desire to watch the movie also because they show it in such a attractive way. All this in childhood, I remember TV. For 1 week, they used to show the just advertisement. This is going to come next week. Like that, they catch you so nicely. Yeah, uninstall app is simple solution. Yes, so many apps are there to distract us. Yeah, we have many solutions. We need to, first is, we have to do sadhana very nicely. Waking up early morning, chanting and reading Bhagavad Gita, attending these classes regularly will definitely help all of you. So this is a few things. And what other books do you recommend apart from those Bhagavad Gita? We have yeah, when our attention in new money, spend it wisely. Yes. What other books is, first we complete these 2 books Bhagavad Gita. Then if you have completed, then you can go for other. There are so many books written by Prabhupada. We have Ishopanishad, we have Nectar of Instruction, we have many other Chaitanya Charitamrita, teachings of Lord Chaitanya. There are many philosophical books which will help us to understand these 5 subjects of Bhagavad Gita very nicely, which is very important for us. And of course, there are many other, after you complete these books, there are many other books. There is no depth of books to read. But you can start, once you complete Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then we have many other books to read. Yeah, by associating with purity. Any other questions? Yes. Have many questions. Sir, can you please share the rules of chanting Gayatri Mantra in the early morning and sunset? If you are doing Gayatri, what you have to do? You have to do in Brahma Muhurta time. It's actually half an hour. It's only 20 minutes. Before sunrise, 20 minutes. After sunrise. So better is before sunrise, 20 minutes. And afternoon, 12 o'clock also you have to do. And then evening also, just before sunset, 20 minutes. Then you get the maximum benefit of chanting Gayatri. How to less enviousness for Krishna, surrender and do what is right. We have to accept it. Yeah. Means somebody will be doing Gayatri because they got Brahman initiation from the traditional Brahman family. For them also, I'm telling. For them also, they get the benefit if they chant the Gayatri Mantra. Yeah, I saw the name. He's not initiated, but he must be having Gayatri from birth. That's why. So less enviousness is Lord is not trying to punish or give anything. He is very kind and merciful. So that's why we have to accept him, what he is giving to us. We should not challenge his. He's very kind. He's very merciful. He is giving so many chances for us. He's giving so many facilities for us. Without sun is there, we don't pay anything for sun. We are taking air, we are taking water, we are taking food. Everything is provided by Krishna only. So why we have to become envious? We will try to accept what he's giving us, grateful heart, and then we'll be very happy. We'll develop a relation with him. In spite of giving so much, he's not asking anything. He's just telling you, acknowledge and you'll be happy. That's all. So the question is, what is the nature of soul? Like we saw that the material is ever changing. The soul too. The soul is not actually changing. It is always Satchidananda. It is always soul does not change. It's always same. All souls are pure. All of us are pure in that way. But only thing is the covering is polluted. Like a drop of raindrop is very pure. But as soon as it touches the ground, the mud, it becomes muddy. So similarly, all of us we are very pure. But when we come in contact with material nature, we are getting contaminated. Yeah. For Gayatri Mantra, it is silent. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we have to chant loudly. Loudly means we should be able to hear. Gayatri Mantra is chanted silently. There the mantras are, this is the Nama, that's why we chant loudly. There is a difference between mantra and Nama. Mantras have many rules. You have to in a particular direction, particular place, particular this. But whereas it comes to Nama, no rules. Anytime, anywhere you can chant like that. How many times should we chant Hare Krishna in the morning? Yeah, if you can chant for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 1.5 hours is best. That's what Prabhupada recommended. But you can start with a small number. You can start 15-20 minutes every day, you chant. And slowly you can increase based on your convenience. But ultimately, we have to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, each having 108 times. But you can start in a small way initially. So, any other questions? I can say some other things, but if you don't have questions, then I'll share some other points for you. What is the significance 16 notes? Yes, I will tell about chanting now. Okay. Please hear some of the very fundamental questions. Why 16? Why 108? I will give the answers for all these things for you. You can write it down. See, 108, the number 108 has very significance. What happens is, one actually is about the Supreme Lord. That 0 represents material nature and 8 represents us, living entity. We are made of 8 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, and mind, intelligence, and one buddhi and ahankar. So we are of 8 elements. So we are 8. So 108. Also 108 represents infinity. If you want to say anything in infinity times, you say 108 times, then it is considered as infinity. That's why you go to any of the temples, they will do Ashtotra Shatanamavali. So 108 times you chant the name. That means you are unlimitedly chanting the name. That's how it represents. Because 108 represents infinity. Also, another important is this 108 is very significant if you take universal calculations also. A distance between Earth and Sun divided by diameter of Sun, distance between Earth and Moon divided by diameter of Moon is 108, like that, by 108 Upanishads and all. But more important than all of this is the number of breaths we take every hour, every day. If you take for half day, 12 hours, how many times I take to breath? If you count, it will be 10800. 10,800 times we take breath in half day. That means 108 into 100. So what 108 means? Every breath we should chant the name of Lord. Every breath should be chanting the name of Lord. That's how this 108 number comes. There are many other different explanations, but this is the few explanations I am giving. So now what happens is, so we have this 108, we are chanting. That means every time. And then this 16 has also significance. What happens is, we have to chant this mantra for particular number of times to keep our mind controlled. So if you take 16, one mantra has 16. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So 16 into 108 and into 16 rounds. So it will be almost 23,000 approximately it will come. So many times we are chanting the name of Lord in a day. That will help our mind to hold on to a spiritual consciousness. So generally what happens is, like if we are in this material world, if you throw a stone up, it will fall down. If you throw very strongly, it will go up, and if you throw at a speed of projector velocity, it goes out of the space. Similarly, our mind, for one day to keep it spiritually conscious, we have to chant at least 25 to 30,000 times the name of Lord. So this approximately goes to that level where we can hold our mind in a spiritual state. That's why we chant 16 rounds. And then we have this 108. Actually, there is also one other significance. 108. Actually, I like this mala, we have 108, and one more bead is there, Meru, it is 109, ninth. So why we have to, why this 108, why this is actually 108 also represent the universe, because I told you it's unlimited. 108 means infinity. So when Guru gives initiation, he gives this mala to us. This 108 represents this universe. So when Guru gives this mala, why we have to chant in mala? Guru says, take this mala, and that means he is giving in this universe, find the Lord. So the purpose of life, we told happiness. One more is to finding the Lord. So what Guru is doing? Take this mala, that means take this universe, chant on this, find the Lord for you. Now, when we are chanting, we have one peculiar style. We don't continuously chant. When we are chanting, we come to this 108th beat, and again we go back. And again we continue, we go back. We don't jump. The 109th, we call it is Meru. We don't jump on it. Why don't we jump? Because this is Sansara. This Sansara is representing 108, right? So now, if we are going round and round and round, that means we are caught up in the Sansara. But we want to cut the cycle of Sansara for us. That's why when it comes to 108, we cut it, we go back. If you continue chanting, we'll remain in this metal world. We have to cut it and go back, cut it and go back, like that. So this is how the beads are. Of course, which finger to chant, which mala to use, all these things are there. Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam will listen from Guru Srila Prabhupada. One name, one mala, as you said, is infinite chanting of Bhagavan name. But Gurudev says significance of chanting daily in lifestyle, significance of daily. Yeah, please contact this number if you have more doubts about this chanting and other things. Krishna Rupa Mataji will help all of you. I didn't understand, Manaswini Mataji, your question. I didn't understand. So the significance chanting daily in lifestyle, significance of daily as lifestyle, as we see in our spiritual. Krishna Rupa Mataji, if you understand this question, can you explain to me? Manaswini Mataji. Oh, she directly sent to me actually.
Maybe she can just unmute herself and ask you the question directly.
Yeah.
मानस भी आप डायरेक्टली पूछ सकते हो प्रभु जी को, अनम्यूट करो अपने आप को.
Okay, you raise your hand. Where are you? Yeah, Manas. Yes, you can unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Pranam.
Yes.
As we see that the spiritual experience was surrender, we see just for limited period of time. But you say that we should do spirituality or always surrender Satyatam Kirtanam of Krishna every day. So what is this? We have Brahma, like we do only limited period of time of spirituality. We don't do that as daily. So what we should say to our mind that we should do spirituality daily. How it is significant to do daily chanting, daily. We only do that some limited time. We think that spirituality is some sudden outlook, not as daily thing. So how to surrender Krishna daily?
Okay, understood question. Like now we are doing only for some time. You ask how we can convince our mind to do it completely, whole day. That's the question. Now, so here what we have to do is we have to do slowly, little bit. Then whole day will be devotional service only for us. But first we have to start chanting. When we start chanting, then any activity we are doing, we will be able to remember Krishna in that activity. When you are cooking, you cook and you offer it to Krishna. When we are going to office or when you are working at home and all can be service to Krishna only eventually. Then whole day is devotional service. Whole life will be devotional service. It will start with chanting. So Krishna don't want that some part you give and remaining. And Krishna also don't want, like Arjuna is fighting, Arjuna is killing. He is doing devotional service, yes, because he is always conscious of Krishna. It's not the activity, we have to change the consciousness. That's why we need to chant. And here 16 rounds is the number of, like, no, it is 64 rounds previously. 64 rounds means 1 lakh times. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that time, then it came to 32 and Prabhupada said 16. Basically, why it is reduced? Because we don't have so much time. We are lazy. But why this 16 number is, it is not, you can chant more also, that's not a problem. But minimum 16, why? Because if you calculate, this will come to a certain number of times, which is minimum needed to hold our mind. That's what it is, the number is. So 16 into 16 into 108 is 27,648 times we are chanting. I told no 25 to 30,000 times you need to chant. It's not our formula. If you go to any other organizations who are doing meditations and all, they also tell. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, I read one book, Mind Control. It is told 30,000 times you chant the name of Lord. So I used to chant the name of Lord 30,000. After coming ISKCON and said, okay, 16 notes. Then I calculated it's 27,648. That means 28,000 times it is coming. So approximately that many times if we chant, because that is the practices they have done. And they have achieved that state of mind. That's all. So the basic problem while chanting is focus. Could you suggest some ways to focus our mind? I try to imagine the image of Lord, but cannot continue for more time. It's like focusing the mind on it and realizing back. It takes focus to the material things or some bad illusion like losing someone. Yeah. So this is the problem for everyone. So here what we have to do is when we are chanting, don't try to do anything. You accept. You try to accept Krishna. This is for your pleasure. I am chanting. You hear, say, you think that Krishna is sitting in front of you and he is listening to your chanting. So you just try to make him listen your chanting. Or don't imagine, no need to see. And when you get some very painful such thoughts, you can start praying. So chanting is also praying. So when you pray, before chanting, pray to the holy name. My dear holy name, please manifest in me. Before chanting, if you pray to Krishna, to Radharani, to Prabhupada, whomever you know, great Vaishnavas, Acharyas, you pray to them. First offer prayers. Just spend at least 2-3 minutes in offering prayers, and then you chant. And in between, whenever you get some thought like that time again, you can pray. You can pray that I want to be free from this suffering. I want to be more closer to you. So that is the only formula. When we become humble, we will be able to do it nicely. And Manika Mataji, she is saying that she is more interested in Shravanam. Very good, no problem. You can hear more and more. You'll be very happy. So 16 notes you chant and remaining time you can hear, no problem. Anything is okay. Okay. Yes, Krishna Mataji. Your host, you can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Manasri Mataji, she was asking that why, to chant daily. So daily, like how, daily so for us, we have food for the soul and we have food for the body also. Like daily we eat food, daily we drink water. So that is sustaining our, body. So similarly, when we chant daily, so it is food for the soul. And because she was asking why daily only.
Oh, I didn't understand the question.
Why sometimes not? Why daily only? Daily means because this chanting is food for the soul. And just as the body is hungry for food, the soul is hungry only for Krishna's name. The soul is not hungry for any other material thing. Because the soul is spiritual, the soul is hankering for only spiritual connection with Krishna, which is its eternal relationship with Krishna. Like, for example, somebody has a very nice, loving relationship with the mother. So the child will keep on hankering for the mother all the time. All the time it will cling on to the mother because he only knows his mother and he knows that he's protecting, my mother is protecting, my mother is giving me food. Similarly, the soul is only hankering for Krishna and soul wants to cling on to Krishna because soul knows that this is only my ultimate happiness. So that is why we need to chant on a daily basis to daily remind ourselves that I have a permanent connection with Krishna. I have an eternal relationship with Krishna, and only the relation with Krishna will only give me eternal happiness. Others, all these happiness in this material world is temporary, Prabhu. So this is what is my, this.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, otherwise we'll end up in I like, I don't like, and we are in a sinful mentality. We are caught up here.
Yeah, Prabhu, yeah.
So even after knowing the significance of chanting, yeah, we can. Regarding Shravanam chanting above question, Mataji, I have following question. Isn't it pure bhava, not counting its quality, not quantity? Once we practice it with bhava. Initially, we have to start with the number. Bhav will come slowly. Some may not have bhav. So we have to, there won't be happiness and we think I should waste time here, isn't. Yeah, whatever makes person inspired to chant, whatever makes a person become closer to Krishna, whatever makes person to hear and read. Basically, we have to be connected to Krishna. We should be able to meditate or observe on Krishna. That is the most important rule. The rule is Smartavya Satatam Vishnu Vispartavya no Jatachit Sarva Vidhi Nishedashu Yatayormi. The most important rule is we have to meditate on Krishna. If it is helping you by hearing or by chanting or any other 9 process of devotional service, we can do that. So So connecting to Krishna is very important. Somebody will read and they'll be very happy. Somebody hears, they are very happy. Somebody speaks, they are very happy. Somebody is chanting, they are very happy. Somebody is doing deity worship, they are very happy. So we have to get connected to Krishna. That is the most important of all other. So whatever helps you to be closer to Krishna and remember him, we can do it. So what is the relevance of addressing devotees Prabhuji and Mother? Prabhu means your master, Mataji means mother, because that will help us to be in a understanding that I am servant of Krishna, I have to serve all of them. So when we look at them, we want to serve them, and we don't, because if you have any other, there is always a desire to enjoy in the mind. But when you, as soon as you address Mataji and when you address Prabhuji, then there is a desire to serve comes. So we lose our desire to enjoy. That is the most important thing. And I am always reminded that I am servant. I am servant of Krishna. And on behalf of Krishna, I have to serve everyone. Like that. Clear, Prabhu? So, and question is, how do we identify or develop one of the mellows like Sakya, Dasya? That is after we reach Nishta. After we cross the Nishta stage, then we will come to know on that only. We need not separately practice now. So, whether you see, whether you think related to Krishna only, others won't be happy. I didn't understand. Is it okay to associate Krishna with different bhava mellows? Sometimes it is dasya, sometimes sakya. We don't have to imagine anything now. We are only servants now. As a servant, we can do now. Other bhavas will come at a later stage. It is not possible to have it now. We have to cross anartha nivritti stage, nishta, ruchi. That level we understand. Presently, we just have to chant and. Okay.
Rupa Mataji's hand is raised. I think she wants to ask some questions.
Okay. Yes, Mataji. I am not able to understand your question. Maybe you can ask directly.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Sadar Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my question is like when we are practicing bhakti in a state, offering or anything, sometimes sometimes it is sakya and sometimes it is dasya, like that, like a servant, and sometimes we want it to be like in a friendly association kind of thing when we do some seva or something like that. So is it okay to shift between the bhavas depending upon the state of your mind at the time of your serving Lord, or is it to be done always in only being in only one rasa? Or
yeah, presently only one rasa,
bhava.
Mataji. Presently we are only servants. We have to always keep a mood of servant only all the time. That is safe for us.
But is that what it is given in the scriptures, that you have to be only in one?
No. Actually,
one
till
rasa, or
what we that higher rasas and all, Mataji, that we will presently what Prabhupada said is you worship Radha and Krishna as Lakshmi Narayana. That means in a mood of a servant only. Because after the stage of Nishta, when we go further stages, Ruchi, Asakti and all, that is the stage when we understand, when we start developing the rasa, means that because the spiritual master will give more guidance, and then we'll be able to understand what I had to do, how to meditate and all. Till that time, till our anartha nivritti is there, we have not yet reached the stage of Nishta. We just have to practice, I am servant of Krishna, like that. Of course, this is actually the sthai bhav. Spiritual world, everybody feels they are servant of Krishna. But after that, on that, they grow their different rasas. Like. Clear?
because
The
in the
standard
scriptures
rasa
I was
is
seeing
servant
always
only.
it is Hanuman. Yeah,
No.
in the past in scriptures also, if it is if we can see, it is always like Hanuman is always in one side. So so my question is, can there be a mix?
It will be rasa basmati. It will not mix like that. Of course, like no, sometimes we were discussing Kunti prayers. So suddenly she says Namaste. Krishna says, "What is Namaste? You are my auntie." So Kunti Maharani was always in a mood of parental affection with Krishna. Suddenly she says, "No, no, you are Ishvara." So sometimes they, because of Aishwarya, they suddenly come to mood like Yashoda Mai when she saw the universal form in Krishna's mouth, then universe in the mouth. Then suddenly she went into different bath and Krishna brought her back. No, no, you are my mother only. So sometime enough, sometime it happens, but it is not. And they are more detailed described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, how this rasas and all. But there is one something called as Sthai Bhav, that is we are all servants of Krishna. And that mood is there for everyone. Everybody want to serve Krishna, but they want to serve in a different way. Somebody want to serve as a friend, somebody want to serve as lover, like that, but they want to serve Krishna. So this is the standard way to uh, standard way for all of us.
Prabhuji, in one of the classes of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, I had heard that if Hanuman is put in Sakhya Ras or Madhurya Ras, he would prefer to die because he will not relish only that rasa. He is so happy in Dasya Ras. He is so contented in Dasya Ras that he does not want Madhurya Ras, which is the highest. Highest rasa also he does not want. So those who are in a particular rasa, they enjoy that only rasa. So if somebody is in Vaikuntha, he is so happy in Vaikuntha that he does not want to even go to Goloka. So this is what Maharaj had said at that point of time, that he'd given specifically he'd given example of Hanuman.
Actually, Hanuman, when in Brihad Bhagavatam also, no, when Narada Muni goes to find out who is the best devotee who got the maximum recipient of Krishna's mercy, Hanuman glorifies Pandavas and he says, "Okay." Narada Muni says, "Let us go." Hanuman says, "No, no, no, I will not come because I will offend. Because when I see them, they are so close with my Lord, it becomes very difficult for me." He said, "I am happy like this."
Yes.
Yeah, he cannot relate it, right?
Yes, Prabhu, yeah.
We'll end Mataji.
Anybody else has any questions, you all are free to ask Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji.
Thank you all very much. Krishna Mataji is nicely guiding all of you, and she is a very good preacher. She has very good understanding of all the nice shastras. So you are all fortunate. Please attend regularly and take her association. She will be very helpful for your guidance for your spiritual life.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I have a question related to focus and concentration.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, this chanting I have recently started 7 days back.
Oh, very good, very good.
But Prabhuji, this chanting is not helping me in focus and concentration.
How you chant? You chant in the morning or evening, afternoon? How you chant? When you chant? How with mala you chant or without mala?
No, with mala I chant. Mala I have.
And what time you chant?
Prabhuji, between 9 and 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
Morning or night?
Both.
So morning 9:30 also, night 9:30 also.
Yeah, night sometimes it's 10:30 also, late. But before 11 I complete chanting.
What you do before chanting, na? You take 5 times deep breath. And then you release it and then hold. What you do? You take breath, release everything, then hold. Hold it for as long as possible. Then again you take, release. What happens na? Immediately mind gets controlled. So you do at least 5 times, then you chant. You will be able to focus easy. That's the technique. So mind stays here. You hold after releasing the air. You breathe.
Hold.
And don't take breath. Just hold. Take breath. Give up all the air. Then hold. Don't take breath again for few seconds. So like that you do 5 times and then chant. It will help you. And you keep a photo of Krishna and you say that you are chanting to please him. That is another way. So these are the 2 techniques you can try. This breathing will help more. Just take breath, release all the breath, but don't breathe again. It will be few seconds only, but it will help. You do by 3, 4 times, 5 times, and then start chanting.
Okay. And regarding one last question regarding Gayatri mantra, Prabhuji, you were saying na ki three times 20 minutes before sunrise, 20 minutes before sunset, and 20 minutes at noon. Noon is before 11:40 or 12:20 p.m.
11:40 to 12:20. That is the time. 20 minutes, 20 minutes.
20 minutes before and 20 minutes after. But sunrise, sunset, it has to be before 20 minutes prior to sunrise and
that will be best time, like that.
Dusk and dawn you are referring, no?
Yeah.
And how many rounds can we do Gayatri in that time?
You can try, because if you are doing Gayatri, you can do 108 times.
108 times will not complete in 20 minutes.
No. I'm just telling that is that in between that time you do 108 times.
No, but it will exceed the 20 minutes deadline.
No. It will be, I think 10 minutes you will complete it.
10 minutes.
You do whatever, because generally it takes very less. I don't know how. It's very small mantra.
Acha, okay, because I don't I was confused regarding the rules, so I don't chant regularly, but whenever I get time I chant.
Yeah, now you try again, but you can chant Hare Krishna. It will be more easy for you. Other mantras.
Yeah, Hare Krishna I am regular.
Yeah, that is best. If you do Hare Krishna regular, that is sufficient. Mantra, Gayatri mantra, it is actually very difficult. Hare Krishna is easy, and you will make so much progress very fast with Hare Krishna mantra.
Acha, okay. We can do both also?
Yeah, both you can do, no problem. But you give more preference to Hare Krishna, that will be more helpful.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thanks. Yeah, Aniruddha is how to take maximum benefit of classes like this and the classes Krishna Rupa Mataji takes. Yeah, you regularly attend and try to apply what is told in the class. That is how you can get maximum. So, thank you all very much. Thank you, Mataji, for this opportunity. Hope it was of some help for all of you.
Prabhuji, we thank you very much for giving your very much valuable association. But we are not going to leave you like this. We are expecting that you will give more and more association for key shlokas which are there, because generally I had seen in Vrindavan that in evening Bhagavad Gita class, whenever they had some special shlokas like this 2.14 or 2.13, then they used to have repetitive speakers for the same shloka 3 days or 4 days. Like I remember for 4.34, they had 6 speakers. Like from Monday to Saturday, they had the same shloka but different speakers for 1 hour. So Prabhuji, we just request you that please keep on giving your valuable association so that more and more people will be enlightened. I am not so pure in myself, but by your association, they will be uplifted very quickly in spirituality, Prabhu. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
You are doing so much. These all things is just coming in between. Definitely, whenever you feel any shlokas, if I can do some shlokas in Bhagavad Gita also. Second chapter, third chapter. Whenever you feel something, I will definitely help my side, whatever I can do. Whatever little bit I know, I'll try to share with all of you.
Sure, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So the Bhagavatam reading class, the class will remain the same, but the subject will be changing. So please stay tuned to the Bhagavatam reading. We have a Bhagavatam reading every day, 9:15 to 10:15 tak. So those who are in the reading class, please stay. And those who want to still continue, you all can still continue. We just give everybody a chance to read one shloka and purport of Srila Prabhupada. So this is the same ID. On the same ID, we continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Priyanka, you remember till where we had, from where do I pick up from? 32 shloka? Yeah. So from here now, Parikshit Maharaj actually starts speaking here. Parikshit Uvacha Oho Adyam Vayam Brahman Satsevyakshattra Bandhava Kripayati Thirupena Bhavadbhis Tirthaka Kritaha. Sushil Prabhu is there. Okay. Anu Prabhu, please do the honors of reading the translation and purport both. Okay, I'll just unmute. Yeah. Yeah, Prabhu, you can unmute yourself and read.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me, Mataji?
Yeah, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Okay. The fortunate King Parikshit said, O Brahman, by your mercy only you have sanctified us, making us like unto places of pilgrimage, all by your presence here as my guest. By your mercy, we, who are but unworthy royalty, become eligible to serve the devotee. Purport. Saintly devotees like Shukadeva Goswami generally do not approach worldly enjoyers, especially those in the royal orders. Maharaj Pratarudha was a follower of Lord Chaitanya, but when he wanted to see the Lord refused to see him because he was a king. For a devotee desires to go back to God, two things are strictly prohibited: worldly joys and women. Therefore, devotees of the standard of Shukadeva Goswami are never interested in seeing kings. Maharaj Parikshit was, of course, a different case. He was a great devotee, although a king, and therefore Shukadeva Goswami came to see him in his last stage of life. Maharaj Parikshit, out of his devotional humility, felt himself an unworthy descendant of his great Kshatriya forefathers, although he was as great as his predecessors. The unworthy sons of the royal orders are called Kshatrabandhavas, as the unworthy sons of the Brahmins are called Dvijabandhus or Brahmabandhus. Maharaj Parikshit was generally encouraged by the presence of Shukadeva Goswami. He felt himself sanctified by the presence of the great saint whose presence turns any place into a place of pilgrimage.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So, Parikshit Maharaj further says that Yesha smaranam pumsa sadhya shuddhyanti vaigriha kim puner darshana sparsha pada saucha sanadibhi. Jagdish Prabhu, please read the translation and purport both.
Okay, Mataji. Simply by our remembering you, our houses become instantly sanctified. And what to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your holy feet, and offering you a seat in our home. Purport. The importance of holy places of pilgrimage is due to the presence of great sages and saints. It is said that sinful persons go to the holy places and leave their sins there to accumulate. But the presence of the great saints disinfects the accumulated sins, and thus the holy places continue to remain sanctified by the grace of the devotees and saints present there. If such saints appear in the homes of worldly people, certainly the accumulated sins of such worldly enjoyers become neutralized. Therefore, the holy saints actually have no self-interest with the householders. The only aim of such saints is to sanctify the house of the householders, and the householders therefore should feel grateful when such saints and sages appear at their doors. A householder who dishonors such holy orders is a great offender. It is enjoined, therefore, that a householder who does not bow down before a saint at once must undergo fasting for the day in order to neutralize the great offense.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you much.
So very nice, this purport is where the importance of saintly people is said. So we're talking about pure saints, and any saint who's chanting the holy name of the Lord, any saint who is very selfless, then what he does is, as soon as that particular person who's chanting and who is just dedicated to the Supreme Lord and his mission, what happens when that saint enters our house? Then immediately whatever sins, particular person has committed, immediately they will vanish. Now over here in this purport is saying about the holy places of pilgrimage. So when these saints, they go to this pilgrimage, then people like, us who are having so many sins, we leave our sins over there so that we can get rid of those sins. But when the saintly people come to that particular spiritual place or a dham, then that sins that we have left or the others have left, then those sins will be disinfected, and how many ever sins have accumulated in that holy place, that place always remains disinfected, and it is always sanctified by the grace. Grace means mercy of the devotees and the saints present there. So if such saints are appearing in the homes of worldly people, then certainly whatever sins we have, that also becomes neutralized, So we don't have neither, we'll not have even sins also, and we will not have punya. Paap and punya, dono nahi hoga. Neutral ho jayenge. And therefore, holy saints actually have no self-interest with this householder. So holy saint is not coming to any, I'm talking about these pure holy saints, okay? Because there are many saints all around the world, and they have some ulterior motives also. But there are pure holy saints which have no interest with the householders, which means what? They are not interested in the wealth of that householder. They are not interested with the woman of that householder. They are there to sanctify the houses and bring these householders to the spiritual level where they can put Krishna in between and they can run their own household life or their relationship between each other. So very important over here is a householder who dishonors such holy orders is a great offender. So any holy person coming at our place, we should be very careful that we should give him a place to sit. We should give him nice foodstuffs to, foodstuffs to eat. And we should give him some charity. Maybe, whatever is a particular person's, status. Maybe if he's living in a hut, then he can at least offer a seat and water to drink. If he's very poor, then he can offer at least a seat and water. And if he does not even have that also, he can actually welcome that saint with sweet words. So now there are levels. So if somebody can afford, then yes, definitely if a saint has come, then you should definitely, feed him some nice foodstuffs, prepare some nice foodstuffs, give him some charity, give him some clothes and any other accessories for his own sustenance, this all, can be given so that we become purified. What happens when householders, they give charity, then they are sustained by giving that charity. That charity will help them to get rid of all their, contaminations, and it will help them to go more ahead in Krishna consciousness or God consciousness. And it will, so when we say dharma, dharma means only that every varna and ashram has a dharma. So the dharma of a brahmachari is to give knowledge. The dharma of a householder is to give charity. So, and that is how they are sustained by, giving charity. So if they fail, for example, a brahmachari or a sannyasi fails to give knowledge or fails to give wisdom to the society, then he will indulge himself into wrong acts, like how you see, in the, what do you say, you see in the public, okay, nowadays. So what is happening? People are not sustaining. People are not pure devotees. People are not giving pure. So if they have become saints, they have some ulterior motive. And that is why, because they are not giving anything pure, the innocent householders also not getting uplifted. But when we are actually, looking in for saints, then we have to look for pure saints that way. Okay. Ahead he says that Sannidhyate mahayogin patakani mahant api sadhya nashyanti vaipumsa Vishnu riva suretaraha. Vrinda, please read this translation and purport.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of the personality of Godhead, so also the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence. O saint, O great mystic. Purport. There are two classes of human beings, namely the atheist and the devotee of the Lord. The devotee of the Lord, because of manifesting godly qualities, is called a demigod, whereas the atheist is called a demon. The demon cannot stand the presence of Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. The demons are always busy in trying to vanquish the personality of Godhead, but factually, as soon as the personality of Godhead appears by either his transcendental name, form, attributes, pastimes, paraphernalia, or variegatedness, the demon is at once vanquished. It is said that a ghost cannot remain as soon as the holy name of the Lord is chanted. The great saints of the devotees of the Lord are in the list of his paraphernalia, and thus as soon as a saintly devotee is present, the ghostly sins are at once vanquished. That is the verdict of all Vedic literatures. One is recommended, therefore, to associate only with saintly devotees, so that worldly demons and ghosts cannot exert their sinister influence.
Yes. So if anybody has ghosts somewhere, you can suggest them that chant the holy names and the ghost will be out. Even in USA, Prabhupada used to tell his disciples. So there was a ghost somewhere. Even during Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's time also, there were many ghosts, and he said that chant the holy names and the ghost had gone vanished. Yeah, next year we have the next shloka. Further he says, Api me Bhagavan Pritah Krishna Pandu Sutta Priya Paitrur Swa Sesya Priti Artham Tadotrasyat Bandhava. Very nice shloka this is. Yeah, Priyanka, please read this translation and purport.
Yes, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is very dear to the sons of King Pandu, has accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousins and brothers. Purport. A pure and exclusive devotee of the Lord serves his family interest more dexterously than others who are attached to illusory family affairs. Generally, people are attached to family matters, and the whole economic impetus of human society is moving under the influence of family affection. Such deluded persons have no information that one can render better service to the family by becoming a devotee of the Lord. The Lord gives special protection to the family members and descendants of a devotee, even though such members are themselves non-devotees. Maharaja Prahlad was a great devotee of the Lord, but his father Hiranyakashipu was a great atheist and declared enemy of the Lord. But despite all this, Hiranyakashipu was awarded salvation due to his being the father of Maharaj Prahlad. The Lord is so kind that he gives all protection to the family members of his devotee, and thus the devotee has no need to bother about his family members, even if one leaves such family members aside to discharge devotional service. Maharaj Yudhishthira and his brothers were the sons of Kunti, the paternal aunt of Lord Krishna, and Maharaja Parikshit admits the patronage of Lord Krishna because of his being the only grandson of the great Pandavas.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just a sec, okay.